Death's Gambit just got a big ol' update, Afterlife. It's not just a DLC, it's apparently also like almost a second game worth of content. At least that's what I've been told. So to start this out, since it's been, 3 years or so since I played the game originally, I'm going to go through the entire thing again. But this time with a twist. That's you. That's your cue.
So we're going to be playing Dark Souls 2, basically. Or Dark Souls, the DLC for Dark Souls.
I mean,
in 2D.
I'd also be okay with playing a little bit of Dark Souls, but yeah, this game is, there are some games that wear their influences on their sleeves. Death's Gambit is your 2D Dark Souls. Something that I'm sure you've never heard before. Never.
Yeah, not on this channel, at least.
Oh, definitely, absolutely not on this channel. No, I will not be playing Sultan Sanctuary.
Yeah, so
Stop
you
asking.
basically, before we started recording this, you were just like, this is the thing you need to know is that this is Dark Souls, but it's 2D.
Yep.
And that's all you need to know about it. If you know that, you know this game.
It's like you get the if you get that, you get the shtick. I mean, it has references to that. It has very similar type play style. I'm going to be dodge rolling around everywhere, attacking stuff with an axe, not sword and board in this one, though. That is most definitely a type of class that you can play. And souls, losing stuff when you die, Estus flasks, they're all here, baby. But first off,
and your face is kind of an orb. You don't have a face.
I mean, yes, it's more like a gross zombie face because I'm dead.
Okay.
That's kind of the entire. Look, we'll be getting a full explanation from Death, who is a major character in the game, but for right now, let's check out what the classes are. Unlike Dark Souls, where classes are mostly just a set of equipment and slightly different base stats here, you get completely different move sets for. Actually, I mean, really, you can just equip up, different. Okay, it is actually exactly like Dark Souls what I'm talking about. I'm trying to be here no, but this is how it's. No, it's exactly like Dark Souls. This is just, picking your basic move set, and we're going to see how it looks for each one of the, at least starting weapons that you have. Though the big difference between these guys is that they do have different abilities, and they do regain different soul abilities, your mana, at different rates or doing different things. They have slight differences, but for the most part, it is just the starting move set.
Now, in Dark Souls, it really is more about what weapon type you choose rather than what class you pick, which, I mean, it's not unrelated, but it's it's more about are you wielding a club or a sword? Is that is that more of what determines your moveset, or is it
that's what determines your moveset. It's just it's your innate class abilities are really the only thing that changes. But still, this is a good look at what each one of the different weapons actually looks like when you're using them. As you can see, very weighty, slow. You get a slight movement as you're using them. It's Dark Souls. Look, you get it. It's Dark Souls.
And you're going to be using that. That's your class, right?
No, you'll see which one is my class.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's
'cause I know you're a fan of the club approach with Dark Souls.
Look, with Dark Souls, the club approach is very good because pretty much club does extra damage against armored enemies, and it's also almost always has a scaling in strength. So deprived class, despite the fact that it looks like the weakest, is one of the better ones that you can start out with. They got actual besides, you can also make they start at a lower level than other classes, which means that you have more choices as to what you're going to distribute stats into.
Yeah, plus it's depraved on account of it's deprived.
Yes, and also, as we know, I love depraved things. I love being depraved. This is, of course, I'm sure the one that a lot of people started out with. The guy with the scythe. His ability is to actually restore death statues, which are your bonfires. It's Dark Souls, you understand.
Yes.
Yeah. So you actually get more save points by using this one, as well as the cool scythe to start out with.
I like the mechanics on that, where it's just like I like the graphics and the mechanics on that. So that is pretty cool.
It's cool, but recommended if you like fast-paced hack and slash gameplay. Quickly regain health that was lost if you retaliate with an ability, i.e., Rally from Bloodborne. Yeah, this is the one I'm playing as.
Okay. Oh, I thought Rally was mainly from Dead Cells. Okay.
Oh, they took it from Bloodborne.
Oh, great. Okay.
That came out 3 years before. Bloodborne came out 3 years before Dead Cells came out, so they had plenty of time to just yoink that particular mechanic from that game.
Yeah, I mean, this all goes back to FromSoft, even when it's not Dark Souls.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of games that have been very inspired by like the Dark Souls style of gameplay, and this just happens to be one that's more inspired than other ones.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, I call them from-like, because it's like from those games.
Yeah, exactly. Look, here's your starting weapon. Look, it's Dark Souls. You get it? Every single time. I'm just going to keep saying that.
It's funny because it's like it keeps being true. Like, it's not even like, it's Dark Souls, but it's 2D.
And then it's not even like a bad thing either.
Yeah, no, those were really,
and then
really
finally,
good
Broken
games.
Longsword for your joke starting item.
Now, I have to ask, now, you as I would guess, there's lore, like, through the items, right?
And I'm going to be showing off every single one of those, because I do genuinely like the whole, like, setting of this game and everything. And now with, like, the new expansion that's come out, even though we're starting over from the very beginning, I'm sure we're only going to get a lot more than that here.
Do you find the story to be interesting?
I do. I like it.
Okay, that's nice.
And
you intended to reach the source of immortality. Your company never
The proverbial
and there we go.
first fire.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, there we go.
find the immortal source.
So, yeah, that's that was the final boss of the game, by the way. We'll be seeing a lot more of them. And there's Death. Hey, man. Welcome to relying on me to do your dirty work. Let's do it, baby. By the way, the person that's currently talking to me right now is not Death. That's a different character. Keep him in mind for later. In fact, keep everything that you've just seen in this tutorial in mind for later.
I can hardly track anymore.
Because it is meaningful. This is not just your way to test out some weapons. Ominous laughter. Again, Dark Souls.
Yeah, everything about this is so, like, every single piece of dialogue was like, they asked themselves, is this enough like Dark Souls? No, I think we need to make it more like Dark Souls.
Yo, I do genuinely really like this game. I do want to point that out. It's just, it is very, very obvious.
Well, we need to go to the first flask with Alduin.
Yes. Not related at all to
The
Alduin.
dragons.
Sorrow resonates through the kingdoms.
This rules. This is just great. They just made Dark Souls in 2D.
That's the selling point of the game, really.
It's great. Like, seriously, Dark Souls is a great game.
No one will ever fear death again. That is worth everything.
Once again, the final boss of the game, we'll be seeing her an awful lot.
Yeah.
All right, and now one little bit of loading time later, we got a sexy dragon man. That's right. Dark Souls ain't got that now, does it?
That's true, yeah.
Oh, Vrail. You know, it's like, hey, the Crestfallen Knight, except much cooler. That's right, Crestfallen. I'm calling you out. When did you do anything other than give, like, a very vague exposition and, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Then we already have this meeting. Except no, we didn't. That was in the future.
Better get used to it.
And wait, you said that wasn't Death.
No, that is
the
totally
same
Death.
character.
No, Death was not talking to you at the beginning of the game. He is now.
Okay.
Hey.
You must do.
By the way, this game is fully voice acted.
Oh, okay.
I know you can't hear because of the whole like lack
you
of
can't.
sound and everything, but hey, that's again with the characters not moving their mouths or anything. But
It'll take you some time to refamiliarize yourself with your body.
oh, that's just gonna be the theme for the entire game, isn't it?
Yeah, like I hate to like.
But it is. It really is.
Yeah, like you make a game that's just like it's like if you remake The Godfather and every scene is like, oh, that's like The Godfather but in the 90s, then it's like, well, what are we gonna say about it?
Or well, you could also just say that for I don't know Shakespeare.
Yeah,
Which is that's true though. So yeah, let's get all the lore on the stuff. By the way, that contract does say can be canceled at any point in time, and you can just like select it from the inventory and be like, no, I don't want to be under Death's control anymore.
That's actually again like Dark Souls.
However, what it does do is that means that your game is now permadeath. You do not get revived on dying, so make sure that's a thing you want to do. Because, like, yeah, the whole contract with death is to make sure that you can actually be revived on dying, and it's kind of a problem if you get rid of that. However, it's like, hey, it is, like, you get, like, different dialogue. I believe Soren even looks different and everything like that.
So, without going too far ahead, I wonder that tells me the contract with death tells me there may be a alternative contract you could sign with something else.
No, but it's just different if you're not actually under death's not even control, because it is really just like, hey, help me out already, and I'm like, okay.
Right, death.
Also, yeah, I guess you can actually just leave. I kind of wanted to, but I also didn't want to restart the entire game, so maybe we'll look at that one later. I don't know, I think I ever did in the original playthrough. Just try and actually leave.
Yeah. I'm liking this thing on the bottom left where it's just giving you the credits.
Where you get the credits. No, they know what they're doing. We're getting like the orchestral music swelling and everything.
Yeah.
Good tracks in this game too.
By the way,
and
I don't know.
Okay, that's more like Shadow of the Colossus, but you know.
Yeah.
That's yeah. All right. So we got all of the. I'll still read all of the basic like tutorial stuff, but I have played this game before. I kind of know the whole shtick of what's going on, even if it has been like 3 years. Still takes me a second.
So you're kind of as you're an amateur kind of game historian, maybe even a professional, depending on how we define these things.
Depending on it.
But like,
Homeward Bone, by the way.
So, would you say that the credits have gotten more sophisticated over, like, a lot more sophisticated? It feels like they're explicitly doing the thing where they're integrating things from movie and TV in terms of here's how we present the credits and title screen.
Oh, absolutely, really man! You didn't even see like the recent what was it called? Spider-Man game where it's like it goes from a cutscene and then it's like it goes into press the button to start web slinging on your own, and then it goes right into gameplay. It's very like, I don't know, it's very like movie sort of thing.
Yeah.
How it tries to be very seamless in between the gameplay and that. But it's like, things like just doing a little bit of walk and talk, giving you exposition while they're rolling the credits. That's a very common thing these days. I'm pretty sure Ghost of Tsushima did that, didn't it?
Maybe. I think so. They did something clever with the credits, I think.
I know they did something with the end credits. They did a very like, you know how like Marvel movies start out with the comic panels and everything. It was very similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think like that was also done in Mark of the Ninja too. So not even yes, absolutely. Credits have gotten there's still plenty of Crystal Lizard.
Yeah.
Credits have still, but there's still just like, hey, roll the credits at the end of the game type of thing. Oh, you remember the credits for? I don't know if I actually. I don't think I actually showed the credits for Horizon, but they did like the panning through the ruins as like the credits would appear as if they're in like real space sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, that's you nailed that one on the head.
Okay, yeah, and I was kind of thinking about this because now that I'm remembering, I don't know I think Undertale might have been a turning point for that, where they do the thing where the title card after the tutorial. You know what I mean? Like they give you that Undertale and it's like
they just did that in Sexy Brutale, which we were just recording.
Yeah, that's why I thought of it. Yeah, because we
also I do believe that in this game, we're also going to see that.
Oh, okay.
So, I know.
Ooh.
Thank you, Vale. Also, Estus Flask. Because it's just like it's just gonna keep going. But yeah, it's a Phoenix Feather, which actually, so the healing system in Death's Gambit is really cool and something that I really think they should implement into the Dark Souls games. You don't just get one Estus Flask. You actually get a bunch of them, and they do different stuff. Like, oh, this one does extra healing. This one does healing, but it's super fast. This one does like a little bit of extra healing over time. This one will buff up your damage for 10 seconds after using it. Stuff like that. Which is
now,
like...
What is the... Can you only use one at a time?
Yeah, you just have to like pick and choose which one you actually want to use. Usually I just go with like the one that's the big heal, but I think the one that gives you like extra damage too. Additionally, you can also give up charges on your Estus Flask for more damage, which is something that I didn't do here, but I probably will do eventually. So you can have like 50% extra damage, but only one heal on you.
That would be interesting. I think I like that a lot. Just simple, like it's a choice. It gives you some flexibility, but it doesn't really change the
Shining Stones. They're all there, man. But yeah, it was something that I was actually hoping that they did with Sekiro, because I saw that there were different what were they, healing gourds, I believe, that you could get in the game, but all they did was just, oh, this one heals you from poison as well as healing you, and I'm like, oh, boo, take the Death's Gambit thing. They are like legitimately not just doing the Dark Souls thing, they are doing some other cool stuff with it too. Yeah.
I mean, that's always the interesting thing, is because it's almost impossible to actually do like a shot-by-shot recreation without doing some like you can't. I mean, it's not obviously that's not what they're doing. They're doing a completely different. They're doing a two-dimensional version in the same way that Dead Cells. It's
right.
Like,
it's two-dimensional, and it's like obviously it's also all their own lore. It's obviously all their own. It's not just like supposed to be a two-dimensional demake of Dark Souls. It's just.
Yeah.
It is still all there.
Yeah. No, and it's like kind of like, for me, as somebody who likes a lot of music and stuff, like you do a cover of a song, you're not gonna do it in the same, like, I hate like note for note cover songs.
Hey, do you hear Weezer's rendition of Africa?
I have not heard that.
Yeah, it's just like the same thing, and it's like, oh, come on, if you're gonna cover the song, do it your own way. It's true.
Yeah, what's the point of that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's like you have to give your own rendition of stuff, rather. I mean, that's something that I remember talking a lot about with Environmental Station Alpha, because from the very start of that game, it's very like it's just Metroid. Eventually, it gets on to doing its own thing, which I really enjoyed. I love that part of that game. But it takes a while, and until that point, it just sort of feels like you're just playing Metroid.
Did they keep that stupid line about Kilimanjaro and the Serengeti?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know. I listened to that once, and I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And this game does, as I was saying, it has like I'm trying to think of Hollow Knight style sort of thing, where you like regain soul energy in the same way that you do in that game, which you then use to fuel your abilities. Not healing this time, which was a little bit cheesy. It always felt like in Hollow Knight, but here it's like, yeah, just keep attacking things as much as possible, and then you can see underneath my stamina bar, because it's Dark Souls, that I need to get 30 to use my like big slam attack.
By the way, I know that it's Dark Souls. I know you've said that it's Dark Souls. I know we've established that. It does. Graphically, I'm getting some Hyperlight Drifter vibes. Not the colors, but the like character designs and the.
I think that like door with like the neon geometrical shape type of thing is extremely Hyperlight Drifter. But other than
Yes,
that, I think
that's
that
what I
it doesn't go too hard into
Okay.
that sort of style. It's just, hey, you got nice
I think the
pixely art.
characters. Yeah, the
that's-
character reminds me a lot of the guy from Hyper Electric, or the protagonist.
Oh, because he's got blue skin. Is that
Well,
and a cape?
Also because the way that he moves in this like lithe way, that's kind of like really, staged. I don't know how to put it. It looks really.
The funny thing
like,
is that
smooth.
the original version of this game was super, super ultra janky. It was still a lot of fun and everything, but the movement was weird. You would see seams and everything in the background. With I don't even know if it was a new update or if it's something that's been around for quite a while, but they have really tightened up on how just they've really tightened up on the jankiness of this before. From what it was
looks
before.
really smooth. As I'm watching this, I don't know if that.
Oh yeah, you can go back and watch my original playthrough of it, and you can see you can see the places where the seams in the background are connecting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's it was also just a lot weirder to try and dodge roll. It didn't feel as smooth to do. If you have been putting off playing that game because it was sort of kind of weird looking, so it seemed play kind of weird. It's improved a lot now.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I have a question. Are we playing? So we're playing Sexy Brutale and Death's Gambit right now. Is that a spooky month kind of thing? Because they're both kind of spooky.
I guess I'm there's murders and Sexy Brutale and that was not what I meant to do. Okay, so that guy, if you talk to him and don't immediately attack him because you're trying to get the crystal, you can see this in the original series. He is an NPC that will sell you some stuff, but it's literally junk. It's literally broken swords and arrows without heads on them, and also one helmet that is noted to be a cultist helmet that was used by summoning of the old ones. It's how about that? If you don't buy anything, then he immediately attacks you. So yeah, it's you can't get away from that, but I shouldn't have attacked him there. I just wanted to get the stupid crystal lizard. What can I say?
Now, the DLC for this, other than the graphical makeover for this, is there anything
Well, it's not graphical. It's gameplay-wise, really.
I mean, is there going to be an extra story that we haven't gotten to? Is this completely different from the tutorial in the base game?
The funny thing is, I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be new for me. I haven't really looked it up yet. I might do that eventually, or play through it a little bit myself, but we'll see. Yes, by the way, the slide kick, very Castlevania, really more, but the kick taking down the dragon, the kick taking down shields, Dark Souls.
Yeah, also the dragon shooting fire, that's Dark Souls.
Fun fact, not a dragon, that's a big phoenix.
Oh, okay.
That's right, it's not exactly Dark Souls. It's only largely
just
Dark Souls.
Exactly a thing that happens in Dark Souls.
It is exactly a thing that happens in Dark Souls, but this is a phoenix, not a dragon. Yeah, those things
I
are
have to say,
pretty annoying.
As an experience, I think that might be one of the best parts of the entire Dark Souls game. Is it's completely unnecessary, but just the thing, it doesn't matter a whole lot for the plot. Just the thing where you have to go through that dragon who's shooting fire, and there are different ways to get around it, but you just it's just this fact of the world that there's this dragon that just comes around and fucking
funny enough
burns the bridge.
That actually originally happened in Demon Souls and might have even happened in games before that, Kingsfield or something, because FromSoft games have some similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
So we were actually talking about extensively before we started the episode with Uchikoshi and the Ever 17, Remember 11, as well as the Zero Escape series, and AI, the Somnium Files, which we didn't even talk about that one.
A friend and I were, reminiscing about games that we played, visual novels, and we were separately I really like Ever 17, and I'm like, I really like Zero Escape. It's kind of similar. It kind of reminds me of that. And then we look it up, and it's the same guy.
Yeah.
What do you know?
It's one of those things where it's just like, yep. Sometimes people got like certain grooves that they go into when it comes to making games.
Yeah.
FromSoft, I think, is very famous for that. But Uchikoshi, very similar type stuff. So yeah,
Bullshitting
that sort of
about
chest
science
you
in
have to
an
attack
unbelievably
constantly
horny
to be
way,
able
yes.
to open it up.
Yes.
They put them in weird locations later on to make it a lot harder to do.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be really hard if it was like on the top of a tower or something.
In fact, we might be seeing that exact
Oh,
scenario
okay.
soon enough. Tomes on the boss. We'll be seeing a few of those. It gives you a little bit of a preview of exactly what they're going to be, as well as giving you slightly extra damage when you're fighting them, which is nice.
And of course, I mean, I think given that this is your channel, I know you're probably disinclined to just say this is also Dead Cells, which is Dark Souls, but like it is also Dead Cells.
I mean, okay, there's some. Okay, obviously, yes, you do have the attacking. You do have like the very particular move set that takes X amount of time to use, and like the dodge roll. It's the dodge roll, especially the dodge roll. Well, you know, you can't like dodge roll in midair, and it doesn't. It's not as fast. It's not as like fast paced, which is again one of those things where it's like, is that really a bad thing? And as Dead Cells, but I do want to say that there's probably a lot of skills that work between the two.
I would say it's less about gameplay and more about vibes. Like, it's more of like, this feels like the Dead Cells vibes, with, I guess, a little bit more, like, the serious Dark Souls stuff. I mean,
Dead Cells is so goddamn goofy.
It's a goofy, silly game, yeah. Like,
It is so incredibly goofy and silly.
And all the characters, like, they talk, like, you know, just
It's
in this elevated
yeah.
way, but it's also goofy, yeah. But
I mean,
these
look,
are
I'm
more
still
like,
a scholar on, like, the lore of Dead Cells and everything, but I'll still tell you it's a very goofy, macabre game and everything.
This feels like a very serious game so far.
It is,
like,
actually.
It
is. Death, the character, we haven't seen too much of him just yet, but he's a bit more lighthearted. There's a couple NPCs that are like that, but for the most part, like Vrail, as we've seen, very serious. Endless and Ione, both very serious. Damn it. I thought I got behind there. Well, that's number one. Yeah. So Ione, first boss. And this is also an interesting thing. Based on how much damage you do to the boss, you do, in fact, gain essence souls. They're souls.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So it's like, yeah, it's not like one of those things where you never make any progress against the boss. At least you still get some experience for it, even if you lose.
Just go home. For both
Yeah, I'm immortal. It's pretty cool. Made a contract with death. All it took was me being this weird zombie man. But that's okay. I mean, you can just cancel the contract if I feel like it. Besides, I was already dead before this.
I will grant you
So if you're wondering, with all the things that they've changed up, including the basic graphical changes, like not graphical changes, but like graphical tightening up on level 3. How do I want to describe this? They fixed everything so it doesn't look super janky. And the gameplay so it doesn't play real janky. Does Ione still do the super goofy sound effect, like stock sound effect when she jumps up in the air? Absolutely. That's still, whenever she does the big jump, it still uses the like 1001 free sound effects CDs sound effect when she does it. I'm very happy they didn't change that. It's that one sound effect that's like whoop.
will have dire consequences.
You would know it if you heard it.
I'm sure it would.
It's like one that you hear in a million different cartoons. So yeah, now I finally get the actual Blood Knight ability with the whole like rally deal, which I believe in the original version of the game that I played, it wasn't just from abilities, it was from any damage, which made it extremely powerful.
Now,
But
just a
that's
lore
fine.
question. So, are you the knight who fell, or is that Vrail?
The knight who fell?
Or the knight who didn't get to immortality or whatever.
Well, I mean, basically, yes, that's me. It's like
Okay.
basically I'm the basic plot of the game, which we'll learn a little bit more about later, is that we are Death. Well, he'll actually tell us this very soon. But like Death has us. This entire country. Everybody here is immortal. It was like everybody. Okay. If you kill them, they come back because when you rest at a bonfire, enemies respawn. But that is also part of the game. And you're trying to figure out what's the deal with that. Because basically this is an entire army full of immortal people that do not die, and that's kind of a problem for everybody else.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So you're trying to get to like the center of this place, or the center of like the capital of this country, to figure out how we be stopping that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why it's like I'm the knight searching for immortality, because everybody from Vados is.
Mm-hmm.
It's also why they like refer to each one of the bosses as the Immortals, because they're all immortal. Maybe from the like source of it in the capital of this country. Maybe from their own means in one way or another. We'll be seeing that later.
Ooh. Okay.
It's not all the same thing. There's a variety of different characters in this game of all kinds.
Mm-hmm.
First off, let me go get over. I might not be able to open this up because, yeah, it's sort of an interesting thing. Chest that you can only open up if you have not used any of your Estus Flask charges. Which is, well, that's actually more like an Untitled story, which is, again, another reference that there are specific doors that you could only open to get upgrades if you never took any damage getting to them, and that resulted in some of the most frustrating upgrades in the entire game. Also, heroic rematches. That's an interesting thing with this game. Basically, there are buffed up, higher level versions of the bosses you can fight after you fight them. So not only do you get boss refights, you can also do extra powerful versions, and you do get like powerful weapons and skills and whatever for doing that. Oh, yeah, also big horse in the background. In case now you should have all seen this coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Doc special is just,
Hey, fast-paced hack and slash gameplay. What do you think I'm gonna take? The health?
Yeah.
You know what I'm taking.
I mean, you would take the curse if you could get it.
Oh, well, I mean, technically that's kind of like, getting rid of the contract, but you don't get that many benefits. I mean, here's the second type of heal that I can get. It's just a faster version of the original heal, so might as well equip it up. Mm-hmm. But later on, it'll be a little bit more of a choice as to what I actually want to use.
Now, I know you were going into strength. It seems like you've gotten much faster, though. Is there like a general leveling thing where you get general increase in stats, or is that just
no? It really is just like stats. I guess I do also have the you do get stats from equipping weapons too. Like I got a helm earlier that gave me extra vitality, but aside from that, there are also a few like classic Metroid style upgrades in the game. I will. Like your double jump sort of thing. But that's after bosses, specifically. Mm-hmm. Axe is maybe not the best weapon for this, but whatever. Good enough. And then, I might as well go on the horse. It's like, it is... You can't use the horse for a lot of things, but it is faster. Mm-hmm. And this is mostly... more or less like your fast travel system, where you open up like parts of this rider's passage thing throughout the game so that you can get to parts of the world easier over time. Yeah,
that makes sense. And so is it kind of thing where your weapons scale with certain stats?
Yep, you can actually see when I mouse over each one of the stats that they have like scaling. Hey. Even counts your deaths against them, which is very cheeky of the developers.
Owl King is not a real king, but still has some...
But is a real owl.
Yes, and has the legitimacy of a king. So...
if legitimacy is counted by how his kill count, you can see in the background that it's kind of good.
Yeah.
Anyway, Owl King, with the whole like heroic fights deal, That is how. That is like a boss that I practice on a lot for grinding sake. So yeah, ain't got any stand no chance. But also,
Ooh, goes there.
there we go. But yeah, what was I saying here?
Oh, so these are all immortals. Okay.
Yes. Every one of the bosses. It's sort of like how it's actually very Sekiro in that way, though this game came out well before that. It's like all the bosses are the immortals in that game. Or in Dark Souls 3, how they're all like the heirs of Cinder or something like that. Not quite immortal, but they all are powerful enough to be able to light the first. It's a thing in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Owl King, easy, though can kind of catch you off guard if you hadn't fought him thousands of times for all the souls on the harder heroic mode. But yeah, also one of the things I didn't talk about with bosses is that there is on the health bar you can see like little notches on there, and that's when they will change phases. So kind of be prepared for that. There's like the big lightning attack that it used on me. That's because I passed over the halfway mark of its health bar where it had its first its only little notch. Other characters will get a lot more of those and will go through a lot more phase changes.
Yes.
And oh boy, are some of them, especially in the heroic mode, real rough.
By the way, you got that ability to throw the axe, or to cleave it.
Yep, there you go.
There we go. Yeah. I'm curious, is that associated with the weapon or with your character?
That is associated with weapon.